Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to Apocaflix Movies. This is our movie news bits where we talk about the biggest movie news stories that are going around in the web. I am Jacob Bartley. Thank you all for watching. Let's jump into it. What are we talking about today? X-Men Dark Phoenix, the sequel to X-Men Apocalipse, continuing the main X-Men saga, has confirmed that Simon Kinberg will be directing. Now, Simon Kinberg has been a part of the X-Men universe back when they did the original trilogy, X-Men, X-Men United, and X-Men The Last Stand. He was a part of that crew. And he's been writing the X-Men stories ever since then. He's been a part of the team. He's responsible for a lot of Star Wars Rebels stuff. This guy's been in the game for a while, but he's never directed a huge, big movie like this. And I love Simon Kinberg, especially what he's brought to us, Star Wars Rebels, X-Men movies. But I don't know if he can handle this huge, huge movie. I think he deserves a chance to direct a film in general, but this $150 million movie, I don't know about that. And this has been being reported by Deadline that he is going to indeed direct this film. He wrote it, he was circling directing it, or Fox was circling him directing it, and it's finally official. Another piece of this is that most of the original cast from X-Men First Class and X-Men Apocalypse are returning, and that does include Jennifer Lawrence, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Sophie Turner, and all the other young X-Men, the actor who played Cyclops, Ty Sheridan, the actor who played Nightcrawler, I think it's, I forget his name, but anyways, all of them are returning. One person who is not listed as returning is Evan Peters as Quicksilver. Now, that is a big, big disappointment in my eyes, unless 20th Century Fox has plans to use him in other properties in the X-Men world. Perhaps having him appear in Deadpool 2, or in X-Force, or in New Mutants. I think that would be pretty cool, but do not. He is one of the best parts of these last two films of X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse. Do not use Evan Peters as Quicksilver in these movies. He is a very, very bright spot. I am actually a little bit disappointed that they are bringing Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique back. I love Jennifer Lawrence. She is arguably the best actress working in Hollywood today, and that, I'm not lying. In my opinion, she's up there with Cate Blanchett and Meryl Streep. I think Jennifer Lawrence is by far the best actress under 30 in the game right now. But I do not want her to play Mystique anymore. She was great in Days of Future Past, and the story made sense to follow her in Days of Future Past, but then they did it again with X-Men Apocalypse. She was bad in X-Men Apocalypse. Not that she even tried. She didn't care. You could tell that she's completely mailing it in X-Men Apocalypse. I do not want her back in this franchise anymore. I really like the character Mystique, but I'm good on Mystique for a while. I would much rather Evan Peters as Quicksilver be in this movie again, but I guess it's not going to happen. We'll see. His name's just not listed. He could definitely be back. They could announce it in 2 months that he's in the film. He could have a cameo, but I'm telling you, Fox, use Evan Peters as Quicksilver somehow, some way. I could totally see him fitting in a Deadpool movie or an X-Force film. I could definitely see that. Especially, I don't know if Quicksilver has the ability to time travel. Maybe Cable can bring him up to date. Who knows? But that is a great, great character and a great performances from Evan Peters. Keep that around. Another piece that is being reported by The Hollywood Reporter is that Jessica Chastain is in talks to play a major villain in X-Men Dark Phoenix, and this is being reported by The Hollywood Reporter that she's in talks to play this role, and the role that they're speculating is Lilandra. She's the queen of the Shire Empire. I'm not pronouncing any of that right, but she's going to basically be playing the queen of these cosmic beings that come to Earth in the comics, not in the movie. It hasn't been confirmed yet that they're doing exactly what happens in the comics, but this group comes to Earth and they want to capture the Dark Phoenix, and that of course puts them in conflict with Professor X and all the X-Men. So that's pretty cool. If Jessica Chastain gets cast in this, that's awesome. But who knows? We had Oscar Isaac, who was awesome in everything else up until X-Men Apocalypse, and he wasn't bad in X-Men Apocalypse. He just didn't have much to work with as Apocalypse. So who knows? Just because a great actor is going to play a major role doesn't mean it's going to be all good. But I do have faith in Simon Kinberg to get this right. I do have faith in Jessica Chastain. I do have faith in most of the cast to bring solid performances. Now, a lot of people didn't love X-Men Apocalypse. I didn't love it. I liked it. It's on my shelf right now. I love everything in the X-Men world. But it's one of the weaker outings. It's like, I mean, X-Men The Last Stand is the worst main X-Men film. I mean, X-Men Origins Wolverine is probably the worst. Then X-Men The Last Stand, and then you probably have... Then I would put Apocalypse right up there as probably the third worst in the whole X-Men franchise. I wasn't that happy with it. But I think this is just good news in general. A lot of people were questioning whether they were going to even bring back this cast, whether they were going to continue the main saga. And I'm very, very happy that they are. Because Apocalypse wasn't a pile of trash. Last Stand was. X-Men Origins was. Apocalypse was decent, and it had a lot of enjoyable elements, especially introducing that young cast of Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, and all those other young actors who can play these characters for 20 more years. But yeah, Kinberg directing, I think it's just a good sign that they got all their chips in place. They got a director. I'm crossing my fingers. I hope Kinberg kills it so he can direct a Star Wars movie in the future. I hope he kills it, but I'm just a little hesitant on giving him such a huge movie to start off with. But hey, who knows? He could do it. He knows this universe better than anyone else. Alright, well that'll do it for this Apocaflix news bits on Simon Kinberg directing X-Men Dark Phoenix, which hits theaters on November 2nd of 2018. We're getting 3 X-Men movies next year. We're getting Deadpool 2, X-Men New Mutants, and X-Men Dark Phoenix. That is going to be really, really awesome, and I hope all 3 are great. Thanks again for listening. I am Jacob Bartley. You can find me on this YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you like movies, film in general, especially if you like comic book movies and Star Wars movies. We have shows on each of those topics. And hit that like button and hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this news of Simon Kinberg directing X-Men The Dark Phoenix and of Jessica Chastain being in talks to play Lilandra of the Shirey Empire, or whatever the hell it's called. Thanks again. Until next time, take care.